This is Byron and Nicole White, and you are tuned into episode 203 of The Real Word.
Word is up. Have we done one together side by side?
Have we done one? Well, yeah, we've done 200 something episodes, Nicole. We've done them side by side.
I don't know. I feel like it's like, I
Yeah.
feel like that's like
It's
another
it's
world,
coming
another
soon.
day. I don't know.
We're going back into quarantine life here, so it's coming soon.
Maybe you are.
Yeah. All right. We've got some end of the year numbers that are interesting. And starting off here with our Racket number 1, for sale by owner homes hit 40-year low. So Inman, we'll link up the Inman article, is asking, is it even worth the effort? I mean, I've always said no, it's not. But this is according to National Association of Realtors 2021 Profile of Home Buyers and Sellers. The report, based on annual survey the trade group has conducted for 4 decades, makes clear that 9 in 10 homeowners, Nicole, 9 in 10 homeowners are working with an agent when it's time to sell. And most of the ones who don't are simply selling to someone they already know. Is this shocking to you in the market that we're in right now, where almost everything sells? There's no inventory and prices are at all-time highs, that even less people are deciding to do it on their own?
To be honest, a little bit. I'm actually surprised more people aren't feeling as though anything will sell. But I do think what they're also recognizing is the fact that once it hits the open market, that they could be getting, 10, 15, 20 offers, where obviously if they're selling it on their own, they potentially don't. So honestly, I am a little surprised that more people aren't trying to sell their homes on their own. I am. Are you? You're not?
I mean, the
Come on
numbers have
now.
been so consistent for so long that people would rather pay the fee to have a professional handle the sale, especially, in in markets where you've got people that are, I don't know, I guess I'm going to use the word educated, sound like a real loser right now, but where you've got people that are like pretty smart and that aren't an idiot. They're going to go and find a professional to do the job for the fee that they charge, or negotiate the fee.
I hear. Well, so that's probably the biggest thing. They're probably more willing to negotiate the fee. But again, I feel like in a really strong market like this, like I do feel like more people are. I would assume that more people would think that they could do it on their own. Because again, like, oh, everyone's just getting offers, I'm going to try it on my own. And then also in really bad markets, because they're trying to recoup every dollar that they can. But no, I'm with you. I mean, I guess, people are recognizing hopefully the value in an agent, especially in these multiple offer situations, of which one is the best. What does this mean? What does that mean for me? But again, overall, I am actually a little surprised that there aren't more.
Who would want to do this if they're going to move? The average is about 8 years. Used to be 10 across the country.
Yep.
You're going to move every 8 years, 7 years, whatever it is. Who wants to take on this new role of having to figure everything out and deal with agents that you have no relationship with?
I 100%
relationships matter.
But come on, I 100% know that you've run into individuals though that are just so stubborn in believing that they can do it on their own, regardless of the headache, regardless of knowing all of it. They're still insistent on the fact that, again, everyone's getting multiple offers. I can do this on my own. But I 100% agree with you. Most people in this situation, especially because we are in the middle of the pandemic, there are so many moving parts. They're either relocating or already have relocated, or they want to know timing. They want to know their options. Hey, I want to list it now, but I don't want to sell, actually close on it for 60 days. Like, what does that mean? So I do think that there are a few more moving parts maybe than usual in these situations, because again, a lot of people are being, they're moving for different reasons than the want. There's moving more because they need to. But again,
well, I don't know about that. They a lot of people just want to move, and now it's giving them the opportunity to do it.
For sure, yeah. But again, I think especially
Look
here
how
we're
many people
seeing
are moving to Sunbelt states right now. It's just like, hey, I can work from anywhere. I'm going there.
right. Well, and again, but that's also a relocation. I guess I was considering that more of a need, you know, business related, or they want to be out of the city. I guess that's a want, but
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
it's
know.
just they've finally gotten the opportunity that they never had. So NAR's survey numbers say that homes listed with an agent sell for a median price of $318,000 compared with a median price of $260,000 for homes listed by the owner. So that's a $60,000 spread on $318,000. Commission could be what?
Which
15,
15, yeah,
$16,000.
yeah.
So
15, 18, yeah.
you know, what's the most important most of the times for a seller? It's netting the most money possible. And by giving themselves every opportunity to reach every buyer, that is still with listing with a realtor. And when you do that, you end up netting the most money possible in more cases than not. There are always outliers. And as the seller, if you're an emotional seller, certainly it's in your best interest to have another party, an agent, bring you through that process and represent you.
For
But
sure.
also, if you just don't, like even me personally as an agent, I didn't sell the last house I sold. I had somebody dealing with everybody. Like I don't want to. I just don't want to go through all of those conversations that these
Right.
buyers and buyer agents are gonna drag me through as the owner of the house.
100%. Yeah. Well, or sometimes you just talk too much.
Yeah,
You know, it just, yeah, I'm with you. I chose not to sell my own house either.
it's easier to have a third party in the middle that you can bounce scenarios off, that you can ask to go get you information. Go ask them this. And you can be more of a poker player that way too than doing everything yourself. And so here's one of the things that I think was interesting on this study is like, okay, well, who is actually selling these houses as a for sale by owner? And they said it was typically more of the rural, urban uh, homes or homeowners that kind of do that. These people maybe that don't have a lot of options maybe for agents. I don't know. In the city, or the suburbs of a city, like there's a lot of agents because there's a lot more sales. So
Right.
more of the talent is going to be condensed in those areas. And maybe they're in a situation where they feel like, well, there's fewer sales, there's fewer agents I would want to work with. I don't know. But they find that it's more this rural urban divide that's happening. An
Are you waiting
estimated
for
No, an
sorry, go ahead.
estimated 7% of rural sellers went without an agent compared to 5% of suburban listings and 4% of sellers in the city. So those are the numbers. Okay. So there you go. I'm not surprised. This is the way it's always been. You'll see if you spend time on TikTok or something, you'll always come across a video of some idiot trying to convince people to sell it on their own. You're going to save a whole bunch of money. You make one mistake, could be really
It,
costly and set your family back for years. So,
for sure.
but
Well,
everybody's got to make their own decision.
oh, absolutely. And I think this actually piggybacks because last week we talked about pocket listings, sort of, and I think it's just again, I feel like it's the same sort of situation. You know, put yourself in front of as many people as possible. Um, yeah. Anyway, I am a little surprised though. I am a little surprised. We see greed out there, but
I
um,
don't think it's greed. Most of the time, it is a lack of education for the homeowner. Nobody's ever sat them down, or they didn't take the time to look into these numbers that we just talked about, or what would the difference be of me exposing my home to the entire market as opposed to just a few that see my listing in the way that I'm going to be able to market it and just get it on Zillow, right? And blocking out the entire brokerage community. What's the
well,
difference there
you
in
can though.
showings?
You have the ability to hit up MLS though. I mean, you see FISBOs on MLS all the time too.
Yeah, you can get on the MLS and on Zillow, but we both know that the agent community brings a whole nother level of exposure.
Oh, I mean, for sure. For
So,
sure. Yeah.
all right. Racket number 2, home ownership remains cheaper than renting, except in biggest cities. Is this shocking to you?
Shocking, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Even with, home values going up 20% in the last 12 months, you don't find this to be a little shocking that home
No.
ownership is still
Have you
cheaper?
seen have you seen rents? I
Yeah,
mean,
rents are
think
outrageous.
I mean, it's bonkers the things that people but they know that they can. They know that they can because people are in situations, again, sort of the reverse of this. Like there's nothing for people to buy, so I have a commodity for people to rent. So it doesn't surprise me at all, especially with the rates being where they're at. And it does not surprise me at all. And I think that that's why we're seeing such a huge surge though in investors gobbling up, 6, 7, 8 doors, even 2 doors, even single doors. People are, grabbing single family homes to rent them out because of this huge increase in rent. I mean, it's the whole world is
Adam Data Solutions
crazy.
found that owning a medium price home was more affordable than the average rent on 3-bedroom property in 58% of the 1,100 plus 1,154 U.S. counties analyzed using data from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development and Bureau of Labor Statistics. So if you go to redfin.com, the data center, and you just scroll all the way to the bottom, we'll show the chart here. They have this Redfin monthly rental market data, and you can categorize the for sale property type. If you go to single family residential, Redfin says that the average single family residential rent is $1,836. And this is calculating a 5% down payment, which I think is probably the average for most people that are going to buy. And the average mortgage for the single family residential is 1,566. Now, interest rates have been very low. So as rates go up and as rents go up, this could flip. Okay, it may not flip because rents are going to go up, right? If they go up in line with the interest rates, but if rents were to stay stagnant,
Right.
in other words, and this interest rate goes up, you could see that, and home prices keep going up, you could see that flip. But I keep hearing that 2023, not this year, but in 2023, rents are going to soar in this country. And so I would assume that this continues to stay, the way it is. I mean, right now, you've got to buy a home if you can. And I know it seems scary when the values are what they are, but interest rates are extremely low to get locked into the 30-year rate. And these investors are savages about buying single family homes like they never have been before. If you have a single family home, keep it. They want to turn everybody into a renter, as many people as they possibly can. They want to keep people renting single family homes, and they are going to keep buying up. Wall Street loves single family homes right now, and prices are at the all-time high. What do they know that we don't know, right? This is a very valuable asset. If you can go buy a house, do it before you get boxed out of home ownership. And I used to say, hey,
Sell it. Sell it. Get rid
sell
of
it,
it.
get
Sell
your
it.
money.
Sell it.
But
Sell it, Nicole. Sell your house. What are you
and this
doing?
doesn't
Sell
help
it.
anybody with the inventory. This doesn't help anybody with the inventory problem, right? Like whether but it is what it is. If you've got a single family home and it makes sense to keep it, keep it. If you haven't bought and you're looking, don't wait. Don't sit on the
Well,
sidelines and wait for something to happen. Go buy.
I mean, we're also talking about, there's so many things that come from keeping it though, too. You could refi, pull your money out, get the money to start working for you, maybe buy another one. I mean, there's so many incredible opportunities now with sort of the increase in property values. So, and I think a lot of people are starting to do that. They finally have some equity in their homes,
Yeah, a lot of
where for
equity.
so long they
We
didn't. I mean, I bought my house in 2005 and I finally like have something to chew on, where it's like you no longer feel like you're being strangled. So it is an interesting environment for sure.
you can't do a cash out refinance, which we have seen going up a little bit lately on your rent, on your apartment. You can't do, unless you own a house, you don't have the ability to do a cash out refinance if you need some cash and if you want some low. You can't go to the bank and just say, "Hey, I want to borrow $100,000 at 3% just because." But if
Right.
you own real estate, you can.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
So very interesting.
All right, Marketeer of the Week. This is a Bernice Ross article. So starting the new year with an old favorite of ours. We love Bernice articles. So 10 highly creative ways to market your business in 2022. Let's just run down the list, Nicole. Let's say if we think it's a waste of money or not. Number
I
one.
haven't read these yet.
Yeah,
So
good.
yeah, I
We get the
haven't.
reaction now.
Yeah.
Number one, custom coasters.
I kind of am a fan.
You're a fan. All right.
I'm a little bit of a fan.
Like for the
I
house, not those like ones that get all washed up at the bar, like those like cheapo ones that just get wet and
Oh,
crappy. Like a real good one for the house is what you're saying?
really? No, I like the cheap, crappy
You like
ones.
the
You could
cheap,
just
crappy ones.
well, like
Yeah,
when
all
you
right.
it's kind of like a
A
business
racket.
card. Well, no, I don't think it's a racket because if you're at a bar, you could instead of you could leave your coaster. It's like people leaving their pens behind. But who wants the pen? It's so hard to read. I think this is actually
I think if they were,
I'm also on day 6 of dry January.
so anything that has to do with a drink, you're like,
I
that's a good
feel
idea.
like anything at this point that's bringing me back to the bar, I'm liking. I actually don't mind it.
I don't mind it for at the
You want
bar,
things for the
but the bars get a whole bunch of free ones from their liquor distributors. If you could get it in your local
well,
pub,
but that's like
that's
you
a great
building the
thing.
relationship. But again, I would just like even if they're just out there for a night, people may grab them, or I don't know,
Yeah,
maybe they're a gift that you're leaving behind. I don't know. I don't mind them. I don't mind them either way. But
that,
I'm definitely using a coaster more at a bar than I am at home. I'm not like, hey, let me pull out my coaster and use my coaster. You use
number
a coaster
two,
at home?
yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Number two, become a walking billboard. So
Okay.
swag,
Yeah. I
basically.
mean, come on.
Merch.
Obviously.
Yeah, I like that. Number three, custom branded tennis balls left at local dog parks.
I've never heard of that one
So you just go to a
before.
local dog park and like empty your backpack out of 100 golf ball
So
or tennis balls, and
interesting. Huh.
I don't know what you do there.
We have a local dog park. I've never heard of it before.
Where?
I'm not a dog in Guilford, right here in town. I'm not a dog person, so that would probably fall pretty far on my list down, but very interesting. I didn't even know that they left balls out at the dog park.
Yeah, I don't know if you're allowed to do that, but
I don't know.
if somebody just threw them all away, that'd be kind of way. I think that's a racket.
Okay.
Number four, YouTube ads at next to no cost. They're still incredibly cheap. This is a great move.
Mm-hmm.
Number five, private labeled water bottles.
I mean, we have them. We have coffee ones. I mean, isn't this just go with swag? Isn't this part of swag? This is part of the swag.
Water bottles to me, it's nice to have them in your office, like a good office feel, but they're getting thrown out. Oh, you're talking about like the
Oh.
Yetis. The Yetis won't get thrown out.
So I guess I'm reading it. They're saying $1 or $2. So they're definitely saying the ones that are getting thrown out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly, I think where they work probably the best in this situation. I don't know that I'd have them at the office, but that would be something that I would bring to an open house.
Open house. Yeah.
I'd bring the water bottles to an open house, or if I was having an event where people, but yes, they are being
more
thrown
of the
out.
feel, but no matter what, they're going to get thrown out at some point. So there's a like literally like a 2-hour shelf life on those things.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Number six, skin your computer. I've always been a fan of that.
My computer is skinned. I do it. It's probably better than putting up because remember when you first got into real estate, everyone told you to like go to like Starbucks and put up the sign. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what this is.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Landscaping trucks and trailers. So basically,
you're paying them to be on your
$100 per month. for 10 trailers or trucks to carry your 5x5 sign or to, basically 5x5 foot sign. I would say, yeah, you're basically putting a tag on these trucks that are going to be all over the community.
You're liking that?
I love that. Yeah, I love that.
Oh, I feel like it's a little hokey.
No, I love that.
Okay.
Because listen, where are those landscaping trucks and trailers going to be? They're going to be in the
I
neighborhoods you
don't
want to sell in.
I guess as long
People
as
getting their
they're
grass cut, that's the neighborhood you want to be selling in.
yeah, but pick the right landscapers.
Number 8, advertise in the storefronts of vacant commercial property. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't like
Well, they're
that at
saying
all. Why don't you just
many
get the
landlords are
listing? That is an
struggling.
advertisement.
Many landlords are struggling to make ends meet. Search for vacant storefronts in areas where there is high foot traffic. Yeah, I'd be surprised though if the listing agent would allow you. Are you even
Yeah,
allowed to do that? I don't even
they're
know
going to
that
be
you'd be
renting it.
allowed to.
That's, I mean, it might be a good use of time to connect with landlords to try to get say they're renting on their own. Say, hey, I see you're renting on your own. I know everybody's hitting you up for the listing. I'm just here to pay you $50 a month to
To
advertise in your
advertise
window.
myself.
Yeah. Hey, that might work.
That may work.
Number 9, a new twist on billboards. So, uh, billboards, vacant land adjacent to the highway. You got to check with the city. You got to go through a lot of checking with the city on that. If you're basically trying to put a sign up on vacant land where, it's not authorized for a billboard. So how big of a sign can you put? And that's going to be a lot of legwork and cost to pull that off. If you can get a sign somewhere, for cheap, sure. But I don't know how much time I'd spend there.
Yeah.
Number 10, have your business cards do double duty. So basically having both sides of the business
No,
card.
did you read this though? I think it's brilliant. He's saying he recommends you going into a local business or restaurant and approaching the owner about doing a buy one, get one free campaign. So it's almost like a coupon. So you're now keeping it potentially for a coupon for a restaurant I love it. I think that's great.
That's
Like
great.
Maybe even the agent is buying the app, like a free app at the restaurant. Like we've talked about this a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I love that.
So
Katie
then you're giving
Clancy
the
does
business card.
a lot of good stuff like this up at the Cape Cod.
I think it's brilliant. Or like 10% off at the local bookstore. And then they're actually keeping your card for that.
You're right. That's the most valuable I've ever heard of a business card, because when somebody wants to give me their business card, I tell them, no, please.
Right.
I don't want your.
But you're like, oh no, you can get $5 off at, and then and to be honest, I guarantee you that bookstore would be thrilled because now all of a sudden they have another patron coming through. Or again, maybe it's even like an oil change. Like how many people actually are like giving anything away?
Wow.
Well, you got to get an oil change every so often, right? Like
no, I don't actually.
No?
No.
Yeah. Whatever.
Tesla.
I need oil changes. Anyway.
Tesla doesn't take oil.
Down there, but you have a different car up here.
Yeah,
so up here in Connecticut, you still need to get your oil changed.
The Ford Explorer still needs to be.
I'm just thinking about things outside of the box. I was talking about it with some agents. Instead of just always going into like the local, cookie store or clothing shop, like hit up the mechanics. Like look at your when you go on like the local like town. Like how many times do you see people being like, "Where do I get my brakes done? My tire's flat. Where do I go?" I think I hear that more than where do I get like a good shirt. So
yeah, I like that. I like where your head's on that. Anything you can do to collaborate with the local small businesses is a great idea for 2022. So
and maybe it's more than one. Maybe like all your cards have different things too. I don't know. I think it's great.
All right, that's a wrap on this one. Really appreciate you guys. Looking forward to a great 2022. Love to hear from you what your creative way to market your business is for this upcoming year in the comments, and we'll see you on the next podcast.
See you guys.